Greetings, Rev J here. Thank you for joining me for your middle of the month reading, your Tarot by Tribe series. Going to be doing these just a little bit different for this mid-month of April, and just first want to thank you all for being here. This is an M for mature audiences only channel, so please only be watching it if you are a legal adult wherever you are, and if you're also okay with strong messages and language, because occasionally they are. I'm going to be doing these messages just a little bit different here for the middle of the month. I've gotten tons of inquiries, people asking me pretty similar questions or lines of questioning, and so I've been putting together a slightly different spread. I'm actually going to be doing 12 separate videos instead of my usual 4 by tribal element, where I'm going to be breaking these down using a 5-card spread, where we actually take apart what the theme is for the month. I'm only going to be using major arcana for that, so that we can get a really strong theme of what Mercury Retrograde is all about. So this is actually probably going to carry beyond the second part of April for most of y'all. This is to kind of help you get through some of the things that might be otherwise quite tricky. We're also going to cover what you're leaving in the past, what your lessons are, what you're carrying forward for a better future, what's been on your mind, mental blocks primarily, and we're also going to be looking at subconscious blocks. And so basically this is going to be like your way to hack out of anything that might otherwise be somewhat precarious and catching you at unawares during Mercury retrograde. So you might also want to check, in addition to your sun, your moon, and your rising, my Mercury retrograde survival kit. It's an 11-minute video. It's actually linked in the description box below. And also just to let you know, if I have enough time this weekend, I might also be doing separate relationship readings or love readings for all y'all too. So I'm trying to get to that. It's just been really busy. I do business consulting too, and I've been in a business boot camp, and I'm like recovering from being on some antibiotics too, so it's just been a really hectic time for me. But I really appreciate all of you who've been there for me, and all of you who support my channel and share my content. Huge thanks to those of you who have ordered personal readings from me, and especially those who have sent me cash tips too. Really appreciate you guys and gals and others, and you've just made it really great for me. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel, and it's been wonderful. So thanks for being there for me. I love being there for you, and I'll catch you on the inside of your reading. Hey, what's up, Sagittarius? How you doing? Happy middle of the month to you. Hope it's going great. Doing a little bit of different style reading here for the middle of the month. If you're new to my channel, you probably won't notice, but if you have been watching my channel, I'm just doing it different for this Mercury retrograde. And I'm shuffling right now the majors from my Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck to get a lens on what your theme energy is for the second part of April, but mostly dealing with Mercury retrograde and things that will help you successfully navigate the things that might be frustrating at this time, especially for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to be laying down 5 cards. And these next 4 that I'm laying down right now are going to be for the things that might be blocking you mentally, or on more of like a subconscious level, as well as what you're leaving behind, and also what lessons you're taking forward as a result of Mercury retrograde. So I'm just going to lay these cards down here, and then I'm going to hit pause, and then I'm going to flip the camera so you can get a different view on what your spread actually looks like. Trying things a little different. Alright, I'm going to pause real quick. Got your cards dealt here, Sag. Flipping the cam over. I'm going to flip your cards now here. Central focus. Wow. Second part of April here. We've got the Tower. That's your theme. And they're saying this could also have to deal with scorpionic people or energies. You might even have some Scorpio in your own natal constitution. So that's what's showing up as your theme. Potential mental block energy showing up as the Nine of Pentacles reversed. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Libra. It's either Libra or Virgo. Had gotten the same card, also reversed, as a lesson that they were carrying into the future. So you might have, I can't remember if it was either Virgo or Libra having that, but you might want to check out their reading. They said you might be having some kind of cross-sections with the stories here. The potential subconscious block has to deal with the Ace of Cups energy, which you're leaving in the past, is a reversed Two of Cups. And the lesson that's being brought forward is the Knight of Swords. All right, Scorpio is right here in the center. This energy, I meant to say Sagittarius. The scorpionic energy is right in the center of your reading. You really might have Scorpio in your chart or be dealing with someone. I just called you Scorpio. But anyway, this is a rather large energy. Any of the majors are, these are big themes, and so I just chose majors to use as themes for all of these, just to be very clear about what type of energy was present at this part of the month for all of us. But yeah, they're definitely seeing Scorpio a lot to me, and we do have Two Cups cards showing up, and it's possible that there might be a Scorpio involved if that's not you. So you definitely might want to check that out. But, this is a Sagittarius, a rather large energy in and of itself. This Tower energy, well, if you haven't seen it before, that's literally a tower that was, struck by lightning. The top blew off. There's fire shooting everywhere, and people literally foisted out. And so they're saying there's some shakeups for some people. Some major things might be changing. It doesn't have to be bad. Any energy that comes through any card is essentially a neutral energy. They neutralize themselves. There's a plus and a minus. And I read these all, at least the majors, for what's here as a theme. No reversals. And so the full potential of this energy is present, is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be awful. Sometimes this energy is things that we avoid, bad situations. I say bad in finger quotes, but situations that could seem really explosive that we avoid. I just didn't read reversals with the majors. So just putting that out there. And the other thing to know about this is that in some cases, this has to do with things that just shake us up inside, and sometimes in good ways. We are seeing some love indications here for some of y'all. This might have a romance implication. In fact, for some, if this is taking on a romantic connotation, we're hearing about, well, in some cases it's relationships that didn't work out, that are being left in the past. In some cases, perhaps rather hastily, and maybe due to the lessons that were learned. In other cases, though, we're hearing about situations where
people maybe felt mentally blocked because they just didn't have what they wanted. It was like they had all this stuff, but something felt so lacking. That one pentacle, that one thing, that love that maybe was blocked somehow or feeling blocked. And boom, that suddenly coming to a rather abrupt end when the right offer comes forward. And in some cases, quick departures that were made from situations that felt lacking in some kind of way. And in other cases, maybe getting out of something pretty quick. So, there's a lot of things that could happen here in this energy, Sagittarius. And they're saying that the potential is there for it to be volatile. And so a lot of where your own strength is here and how you manage any energy that you have. Because I'm hearing in some cases, this might be people even feeling kind of sucked dry of energy. They're putting a lot of energy into things and maybe feeling like, they got to know whether or not the payout's there. And you're going to know what kind of payout it is you might be waiting for. But, if the mental block has something to do with an energy that otherwise is quite fulfilled, because when it's showing up straight here, that looks like a pretty good thing going on. That person does not look like they're stressed out. Like this person that can sometimes act like a bat out of hell when they're in reverse mode can be. So, cautions here. What is it that's not paying off? Is there a tendency to respond in such an abrupt manner that we are not paying mind to subconscious needs for love? However that might be expressed. Because this is what's showing up in the subconscious potential block area, is literally being able to receive love. So for some, it could have a lot to do with what was left in the past. This could very well just be emotionally challenging times within partnerships. It doesn't have to be romantic, but in some cases that's exactly what that is. This is a romantic relationship that didn't work. This is something that was abandoned. This is something that was turned away. In some cases, it's just the feelings of unrequitedness that always had a need for love. And maybe didn't feel it. Maybe something felt like it was missing, and maybe something never was missing. Maybe it was a fear of what wasn't given or received in the past. That can really be a lot of energy, especially if we're presented with opportunities that kick us square in the heart and maybe elicit a fight or flight sort of response, or one where we just don't know how to manage that energy. So there's a lot here to keep in mind, Scorpio, I said it again, Sagittarius, about what it is that you're actually feeling, because they're saying that that's kind of what's been piloting this thing here, is like what you feel that might get disregarded sometimes, because they're saying that there's definitely some kind of need here, and in some cases how you're responding to that need, well, it could have some pretty big implications on the direction that your life takes. And they're saying in some cases it might even just have to deal with material concerns, and I'm hearing about a change of job and just like, hey, you know, this thing I was doing before, it felt good, it was a good partnership, leaving it behind, money wasn't there, or maybe feeling like it wasn't there, and a real need to make a change, and needing to know whether or not it's the right time, and whether or not, if it is the right time, that we're directing the energy in a way that isn't haphazard, because that's the biggest, I would say, lesson that can be learned from, you know, in some cases, a Knight of Swords that might be quick to draw, whether it's verbally or just with their actions, because that energy can be pretty quick coming through in any form of the Knight of Swords energy, but especially when this one goes in reverse next to a potential large amount of energy that could show up like a tower. So they're saying you've learned quite a lot, Sagittarius, and in some cases it might be just like learning how to respond to feelings that maybe don't make you very comfortable, because sometimes this is a person that's very comfortable that just doesn't know how to relax in what they have, because they might not be real great on the feeling senses when things are being triggered. So they're saying stress management is going to be really big right now. Be careful around sharp objects, I'm hearing. Be careful with your hand. They're saying be careful with your hand around sharp objects. Look, this is Mercury retrograde. A lot of things can go, you know, kind of weird. And they're showing me this person wearing this glove here. And I don't know. I'm just hearing something about wearing gloves and being careful with your hands if you're around sharp objects, and just making sure that you take the time, especially if you're feeling combustible in any kind of way, and remembering what you've learned from the past, especially around others that might have been reckless with your emotions or how you've dealt with them yourself. So I'm going to leave you with that, Sagittarius. I hope it's helpful. And if so, I'd love to hear about it, and let me know if I can do a personal reading for you, because I would love to do that. And if I don't hear from you, take care. God bless. Catch you again in a couple weeks when I'm back for your monthly reading. Bye for now.